appear that I am under the sea. Hello and welcome to the Keepers of the Covenant of the Gym Chainworld. I'm in the middle of the ocean. I don't know if you know the history of the Chainworld or the premise of the Chainworld, but maybe a decade ago, in the earlier days of Minecraft, we have to restart this, Aaron. There's nothing. The only thing there is an ocean temple. Hello and welcome to the Keepers of the Covenant of the Dim Chainworld. I am Lander, and I will be starting our group off. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of the Chainworld, but it originates at least 5 years ago, in the earlier days of Minecraft. There was a indie game convention whose topic was video games as a religion. And at this convention, someone presented basically just a slightly modded version of Minecraft, where the idea is, it's very existential. You play it once, and once you die, you pass it on to someone else. That someone else experiences the same world that you experienced, and it all kind of evolves in a very organic way. At the convention, the people were very impressed by this idea, and everyone was kind of freaking out because at the end of the guy's speech, he offered to give it to someone in the audience. And there was a man in a wheelchair there who started having like a religious Jesus seizure, and so the creator gave it to him, and he was kind of like seen as a messianic figure. But it turned out that the guy who first got the Chainworld was violating some of the rules, where he was trying to sell it on eBay and make a bunch of money. And in doing so, he enraged the community, and people like gave him numerous death threats, and there was, I think, some forms of violence. But that was the original Chainworld. Maybe ours will turn out a little bit more peaceful than this. But we are playing. We're gonna play by the rules that one of us plays at a time. You play until you quit or until you die, and then you pass it on to one of the next members of the Keepers of the Covenant of the Dim. Looks like we started in a pretty good place, on some mountains with a little bit of wood. We have some sheep, so there's a good supply of mutton to survive for a while, I guess. I'm gonna start by making some tools. We have a village too, and some pumpkins. It's a very nice locality that we've began in. I think I'll make for this cave, which will be our first home. I'll bring that chest and crafting box we started with for good measure. Has anyone out there read The Mysterious Island by Jules Verne? A group of castaways end up on an island in the South Pacific, which, being patriotic Americans, they named Lincoln Island. But as part of the story, they drain a cave on the edge of this island's cliff and make it into Granite House. This too shall be Granite House. Skeleton. And naturally, my selection of oak is born not only for wood, because there's plenty of spruce around, but for apples as well. One of the many delicious products of the oak industry. Oh no. No. I know people sometimes watch horror Let's Plays to hear people screaming and crying. It might devolve into that. You out there might be laughing at me, saying, "Who dies in Minecraft? Who could be scared of a creeper?" Well, I'm pretty bad. I admit this. That'll be our first sacrifice to this Chainworld. No. They like it here. Oh, being in a place with so many sheep, I probably should have killed some right away for bed. not take me on this night. So I've been rereading The Lord of the Rings in these last several weeks. An ounce of Lord of the Rings lore, correct me on this, is that hobbits arrived without a creature, or kind of just showed up. Maybe in terms of like a natural process like evolution or something, it's not determined. But what I wonder is, how did the first hobbits deal with hunger? Hobbits as a race, as we all know, have great propensity for eating. The first hobbits that crawled out of the primordial caves of Middle-earth, their bellies were growling. What did they do? The poor beasts. Probably punched some wood and then took that wood, hit some rocks with it until they made it some shards of rock, or blocks of cobblestone with which they made a sword, and chopped some sheep